You're kicking it with the Christians. You're kicking it with the Christians. One marriage, two hustlers, it shows. We'll travel the globe in search of endless possibility. You're kicking it with the Christians. Together we'll conquer it all. Take the highs with the lows, cause there's no losing with this energy. You're kicking it with the Christians.
What's up? Welcome back, YouTube.
What's up? Y'all was jamming to our intro with
What one marriage to hustle with shows. Hey.
he don't know how to words.
What's I do? I'm the one that made the
will
words
travel
up.
the globe.
Oh my God.
Sing
Anyways,
it. We want to hear it.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to
We
another
wanna hear
podcast.
the song.
They didn't watch the
Y'all
video.
see how he trying to
Welcome
ignore
back.
He trying to ignore me.
I
'cause he
wrote
don't
the
know
song
it.
though.
Y'all know it.
And I got it in my notes in my phone.
Anyways, welcome back to another episode.
Let's go.
YouTube, we back in here. Yes, one marriage,
Two hustlers.
You know what it is.
You know
Y'all see
what
my
it
shirt?
is. Stop
One
playing.
marriage, two hustlers.
The incubator.
OM2H Creative Studios.
Yes, the incubator, bringing visuals to life.
If you're in Houston, come check us out. Okay, we got some great deals. Y'all go over to our website.
So listen, before we get going, man, I want to say two things. Number one, if you're looking to do a digital product, we are here to help you. We are here to help you get to the next level. If you're looking for structure in your business, we're here to help you. In the description below, I'm gonna have where you can go click and look at the websites and stuff like that. And the last thing is, if you're just trying to create content and do reels and podcasting, we got you if you're in Houston, Texas.
Yes. If you in the H, hit us up. Go to our website.
Today's topic is...
Choosing your partner. Some of y'all don't like to do that.
Uh-oh.
We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it because we get questions all the time.
24/7.
But that's my mama. But that's my daddy.
Oh, Lord.
But that's
Oh,
my
Lord.
sister. And I'm going to ride for mine. We understand. But when you going to ride for your spouse?
Ooh.
So today's topic is just about choosing your relationship and choosing your marriage over all the other things. Because at the end of the day,
Talk
if
to
you're
him.
living with your spouse or you're married to someone, they should come before anybody.
Come on.
Really.
Come on.
Even your children, unfortunately.
that's
That's how
deep.
God has it in the Bible.
Wow.
So y'all take that up with him. But it's always this sense of selfish going on, right?
It's the mindset, though. I think because we're living in the times where everybody's trying to look out for themselves versus looking out for their spouse. Because people are seeing too many divorces. People are seeing too many breakups. People are so locked into reality TV, and they're not locked into their own reality. I'm going to repeat. People locked into reality TV, and they're not locked into their own reality.
Yeah, social media has a huge impact on the way people move in relationships. I saw a post the other day where it had like all the people that have split up this year, all the marriages,
Come on.
celebrity marriages. And it's like, why do we glorify stuff like that?
We do.
We do. And
But you
so
know why,
now it's become a thing, right?
The reason why I think people glorify like so many, because people been through heartache and headache. So people will say things like, that's why I don't get married, because I've been hurt by the last 3 men. I've been hurt by the last 3 women. So this is why I'd rather be able to cut it off versus marrying somebody. So this is why they glorify it. We've been hurt for so long, all right? We've been hurt. And when you see marriages and things breaking apart, the first thing a single person say, that's why I ain't getting married, because look at that. All these people getting divorced. But they don't see the people who's really doing good with their marriage.
Right. Like, there's a lot of people out here, like, really winning at this relationship and marriage thing.
Come on.
And I think marriage gets a bad look sometimes because of, people who are getting divorced or people who are not together. But there's a group of people out here that are thriving in their marriage. They're thriving because they're working together.
Talk about it.
And they're thriving because they've chosen each other. And so it's like, it's not all about me It's not all about what I want to do. It's about what we want to do. But I think that's the part people miss. People don't want to negotiate. I say negotiate because it is when something that you want is not what your spouse wants, you guys have to meet in the middle.
So that's when the 3 C's come in place. The compromise. Mm-hmm. You got to compromise with each other, all right? The commitment, all right? You got to be committed. So as you compromising with your spouse, you're making a commitment to stay with them, whether it's good or bad, ups and downs, sickness and health. And the last thing is the choices that y'all making, the choices with your money, the choices with your time, the choices with the people you're around. These are things that people, they really losing focus and don't understand that I'm in this relationship. I have to make sure that I'm committed. All right. I got to make sure I'm making the right choices, and I have to be willing to compromise with my spouse. That means everything can't go your way. Stop wanting everything to go your way. Some things you got to say, hey, hold on. Let me listen. Let me see. This person might have a different view. They might see it different. Some of you guys got to stop being so, it's all about me, and say, whoa, it's about us working together, us coming together as a team, and then you'll start to see success in your relationship and marriage.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think when you side with other people, that's what the enemy wants.
Talk about
like, it's like, man, you're on this person's side. Like, even if your spouse is wrong in the situation, it's kind of like, that's a conversation you need to have with them one-on-one.
Come on.
In private.
Come on.
But what I've been seeing is like people blatantly disrespecting their spouses, like talking crazy in front of other people, cursing, making derogatory Facebook posts, texting crazy things. Like, once you put something in writing and once you put something on video or something is recorded, or even if it comes out of your mouth, you cannot take it back. It doesn't mean that, oh, I apologize and they're okay with it. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is it already came out of your mouth. So that means that it's already in the atmosphere.
What's that Bible quote?
Whatever you speak out of your mouth.
It's from the abundance. I can't think about it.
Is that it though?
Yeah, something about whatever your heart speaks or whatever comes from the abundance of, I can't think, but it's something like that. That's why I say be very careful.
What you say?
Matter of fact, before you say anything, think. Because our number one rules, you can't hit below. You don't hit below the belt because people don't forget.
Yeah.
People
and
don't
it could
forget.
be a trigger. It could be a trigger too, because you know that person like no one else. So that means you know about their past, you know their family. And so what tends to happen is you get into these arguments and you say things that, like he said, are below the belt because you know stuff about them that nobody else knows. And how is that fair to say, oh, now I'm mad, I'm going to bring all this stuff to light and tell everybody? That's not fair because you've now broken the trust and you now created a space that's no longer safe for that person. And I think a lot of women, once they break up with men or something happens with a man, it's like they want to talk about, how they're a narcissist, how they don't know how to open up, how they don't share, how they're closed off, how they don't do this and that. And it's like, man, they're never going to do it, right? Because of that. Because now you feel like I had to expose them. I have to let everybody know that this man did me like this.
All women. When
instead of taking it to the altar and being like, God, I'm going to put them in your hands. I hope they get better. This is what happened to me. I pray that you help me heal. And so when we learn how to lead with grace and prayer, it's just something different about the effect that God can have over your life. But when you don't really know how to wear the crown that you're asking for, it makes it difficult for you to be blessed. It makes it difficult for God to send you someone when you're operating in a negative energy space. Because to me, it's all negative. It don't matter how you try to put it, how you try to say, oh, I'm my circle. I'm only focusing on people who focus on me, and I'm no longer giving my heart to these guys.
Oh,
and
my God.
It's like, that's still negative energy because you're speaking on it. If it was that important to you, you would take it to the altar and leave it there.
So this is the thing, though. I like to talk about so many people, man, that I think they're being connected or marrying or dating the wrong type of people, you know, and I think that's what's really triggering them to go through the same thing. We all know the definition of insanity is to continue to do the same thing over and over, expect something different. But if you haven't really did no soul searching within yourself on what you want, what you desire, then it's going to be so hard for you to find the right person for you. And a lot of times I really try to tell people, I'm like, bro, sis, listen, please be dialed in to like, are you really ready to date? That's the real question. And if you're dating somebody, are you really ready to go look on the other side of the fence where the grass look greener? Because I'm gonna tell you, it's still shit over there. So are you willing to go through this process to try to work it out with your spouse? Because again, you're gonna get out of one relationship and go to another relationship, and it's gonna be the same type of person because you don't know how to date.
Right.
You don't know to find what you're looking for. So what you're gonna do is attract what you used to. And when you're attracting what you used to, then you get into that next relationship and say, I've been through this already, because you're dating the same person. They just look different. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
That's why it's important to do the work. When you're in your season where you're growing and you feel like I need to be by myself, that's the time that you should do the work on yourself and really start to identify what it is that you want in a partner.
That's good.
What do I want in a partner? What can I bring to someone's life? What can I offer them as well? And then what are we able to do together? What am I looking for? Am I looking for a teammate? Am I looking for, a soulmate? Like, what am I looking for in a partner? Like, really starting to identify that and writing it down, and also taking it to God. You know, we want to be, like I said, we want to be on social media, want to be telling our friends and all these different things. But the important part is that God knows what you're looking for, that the timing is right when he brings that person into your life. I'm sure people have experienced this because I've experienced this before. It's like someone came into my life and I was like, man, this person has all the things that someone would want. But at that time in my life, I wasn't ready for that. So I knew that wasn't for me. And so you have to know what's for you at that specific time in your life. Like,
and that's in all aspects, though.
Yeah, and everything. Because just because something looks like it's for you, or it may seem like the fantasy or the fairy tale, it just may not be for you.
Even business partners, like you might see, I see people be like, oh, this person probably be good for me to work with. But then once I really dive deep, I'm like, no.
There's some other stuff going on. It looks good on the outside, but it's just not for you. And that doesn't mean that person or that business partner is.
That don't mean they're a bad person.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It doesn't mean they're a bad person. It doesn't mean that they can't go work with somebody else and be fine, or go be in a relationship with them and be fine. That's why you see people who get out of relationships they've been in a relationship for like 10 years, and they get out of a relationship and they go marry a person, and they do great, and they stay with this person. It's because that wasn't your person.
Crazy.
And it wasn't the time. So something had to happen for y'all to break up so they can find their person and you can move on and find yours.
And I really want people to be dived into, like, man, I call it the 90-day evaluation. Let me explain what that means. That means that write down the last 90 days what you have done, whether it's good or bad, and let's do a self-check, all right? It's kind of like a car. You know the oil got to be changed. You can't just keep driving it without changing the oil. You can't keep going in life without changing your mindset, without shifting your perspective. You know, sometimes the perspective you're looking at is not the right view. You might have to go to a higher view, or sometimes you might have to even go lower so you can see a different view. But you need to see the view. And so I say that because I call it the 98 check-in, because checking on yourself, checking on your spouse, checking on your situation, checking on your job. Ask yourself, like, hey, what is it I'm doing every day And how can my life be better the next 90 days? So now you're on day 91 saying, these are the things that I know I need to work on. These are the things I did good at. And let me put this together so that the next 90 days be better. And so like every 90 days, you're getting better. You're starting to elevate. You know, the thing is, and the funny part about life is sometimes it go, doom, doom. But this is the thing. It can steady rise. So it can go, doom, doom. Doom, doom. It don't have to go like this. It can go up, a little up, versus going up, back the same, up, back the same. It's like you're not growing. So when you're not growing, it's because whatever you sowing at, that ground, that fertilized ground, it ain't even worth you sowing over there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it looks different, like I said, for everyone. Those checks, your life, the way you think things are going, and stop looking at social media thinking that someone's life is always like this, like you said, because you're only seeing a snippet of a person's life on social media.
Highlights.
Right, so you can probably look at my profile and think, man, Courtney's doing great. She's been doing great for a long time. But there's times where we were like this and this and this. And that's just life. It happens to all of us. But the importance is that you do the check. You see like, okay, this not working. This is not working. Let me reassess. Let me regroup. Let me push through. And let me just always lean into what I know is working for me. Like, let me just continue to do the things that I know is working. Sometimes we try to change the recipe when it doesn't need changing.
It's been tasting good.
It's been tasting good. It's been working, but we still want to go in there and be like, oh no, let me skip this step. Nah, we don't need that. Let me take that out.
Come on, talk about it.
And then your stuff sticking to the pan. It's burning because you forgot that, oh man, I thought I could take. Like, don't try to be changing stuff all the time when
that's good.
What you're doing is working, but you may not, like I talked about in another episode, you may not see instant gratification because you don't see what you want to see right away. Or if like you talked about, if it's not cooking quickly, you're like, man, let me take something out. Let me do this. Like, continue to do what you're doing and watch the progress and be patient. We so in a rush for everything.
We are.
Like,
we in a rush.
We just in a rush. We in a rush. We want to say what we want to say. We want to get things done. We in a rush. So just slow down and be patient. And stop putting everybody in your business.
Business.
When you're in a relationship and you're in a marriage.
Come on.
I see people, they put everybody in their business and then they back together.
Lord.
In like a week or two.
Lord,
and your family like, I don't like this dude. I don't like this chick. Because you did all this.
Yeah. And
you done showed them all this. And you done brought them into your marriage and your relationship. And now it's like.
Because you know people going to choose sizes.
Yeah.
That's natural.
Everybody rolling with their blood.
That's natural. Everybody going to pick sizes.
They rolling with their blood.
Don't matter how long they knew you.
Period. They rolling with their people.
That's it.
That's it. So just be mindful when you doing stuff like that because it's like, man, I'm either going to take it to the altar, go take it to the therapist and work through it, or I'm going to let it go. But at the end of the day, when you bring other people in, it just invites unwanted opinions and all this extra stuff when at the end of the day, the person you need to be talking to is your spouse.
That's good. So, this is the thing, though. People, there's people out here that's saying, y'all make it sound easy.
It's not easy.
Y'all make it sound, I'm like.
It's not for the weak.
It's not for the weak, but it ain't easy. But you have to be willing to go through the trials and the tribulation without running. Let me get to it. The problem is people don't want to go through the trials and the tribulations. As soon as they go through something, they want to run. They want to run. They want to say, oh, I'm not going through this. Oh, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? That's like Daniel in the lion's den. If you're going back to the Bible, he was in that lion's den. He had to go through it, but he came out unscathed. And this is the thing. Sometimes God want to put that pressure on you because he know that you've been so comfortable that you can't even get outside of your own will because you've been so comfortable. And God like, oh no, I got to put some pressure on you to make you do better, to make you go a certain way. So that's why you wonder why. Oh man, I was driving in my car, I had a flat. God said you had to have a flat because if you'd have kept driving, your whole wheel would have came off. So I need you to have a flat to get your wheel checked. Another thing, you say, man, I can't believe I went to work and they want to fire me because God said, you know what? I'm going to make them not like you because I got something better for you, but you don't even want to go open the door because you're too comfortable. Yeah. So God got to put us in positions to be uncomfortable so that the uncomfortability can help us grow. And that's in your relationship. That's in your life. You have to be a little bit uncomfortable. You know, when you like, oh, yeah, I'm making this amount of money. I'm feeling good. I'm doing that. Guys, I'm going to stop your income. So I'm going to make you have to do something else so you can get fired up, so you can make your life easier, you know. But we living in the present moment. And I don't like when people live in the present moment, though.
Yeah, and living in the present moment, you got to think about, like, you're not always going to be in that moment. So you got to think about, this is temporary.
Talk about it.
It's temporary. It's not forever, but we tend to only focus on the now.
Come on.
You know? And so I think we have to stop focusing on the now and focus on, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to work through this, and the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Also, too, when you're going into a marriage or relationship, that mindset that you have to have is like, everybody else is on the back burner when it comes to my relationship or my marriage.
Preaching.
And I think that's really choosing your partner. Like, right or wrong, we riding, period. Like, good. Right or wrong, we gonna ride. I might correct you in the car, but we ride. So that's the mindset that you have to have. And it's like, you can't give up on your spouse so easily. It's like we give up so easily. Like he said, we don't want to deal with nothing. We don't want no adversity. We don't want no arguments.
Come easy, guys.
We don't
please.
want no disagreements.
Come
it's
on.
just like we want everything to come easy. But when we take the time to really just work at it, God will put his hand on that thing and he'll put glory on it, and it'll just be a beautiful thing. I've seen so many, and I still see so many beautiful marriages and relationships because they constantly work together. They constantly choose each other. And every day, if I get up and I choose him and he gets up and he chooses me, who gonna stop us?
And this is the thing I tell people, work now or suffer later. Work now or suffer later. It's kind of like digging. When you digging for gold or you digging a ditch, you gotta dig. Sometimes you might have to dig so much that by the time you get in that ditch, it's way above your head. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about work, and people don't like work. We living in a generation where everybody want things to be easy. Oh, but it's just, I just find my person and life goes great, and like. It's not that simple. I wish it was.
I'm gonna be a millionaire tomorrow.
With $5 worth of knowledge.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't. This is the thing too. If you go back into the time, and I tell people all the time, and me and my wife talked about on the podcast Gala, we reaching out to podcasters. Some people don't see it. They're like, I don't know y'all. Y'all don't know what y'all doing. But see, once the movie made, and they see the people that came. And then next year in January when we lunch it, instead of lunching it late like we did this year, and they see the movie, they're like, oh, I need to be there. Now they want to be a part of it. Some people not going to believe in your dreams or your ideals until they see you with it. And that's the sad part. The sad part is some people just not gonna see it. So they're not. It's like, hey man, we're having a podcast Gala first time. They like, oh, it sounds cool. Oh, let me see if I'm better to make it. But when we have it with or without them, and next year when we lunch and we know we like, okay, here are the podcast ads. Here's the things we can do. Here's the snippets we need to show people. Here's the people that we have on the lineup to go to. Then they actually see the movie. Then they like, oh man, I missed out. And sometimes you miss out on opportunities when it's way too late.
Yeah.
So, and I'm going to tell you, I had a friend that told me a while back, he was like, man, I seen something that I should have started 12 years ago. And somebody already doing it. And they making millions. He should have been started it. But you know what stops us? The fear of the unknown. Like, when I say I don't know how I'm going to get it done, the fear. When we got this building, it was fearful. We were like, okay, what we doing? Okay, let's get podcasters here. We didn't know. Now we know. We know how much we charge you. We know how much it costs. We know how to do everything, the reels, the digital products. We have systems and processes. When we started, we was just really clueless. It was like, man, what we going to do? What we going to do?
Yeah.
We didn't have no idea. So all this takes work. It takes grind. It takes believing, man. If you don't get nothing else from this conversation, just go and tell yourself where you at today, you're not going to be tomorrow if you're willing to put in the work.
Yeah.
Work now or suffer later.
Choose each other, man. I'm
Choose
telling
it.
you, your partner is the best partner you can have, in life.
That's good.
And in marriage, it's not going to be an easy journey. You're going to have struggles. You're going to have, times where you don't agree. You're going to have times where one person's pulling more weight than the other.
It happens.
And it happens. And that's just a part of the journey. If you're in a place where you're still trying to figure out, hey, do we want to stay in this? Hey, I don't know. Like, try to find a little bit of something that's still inside of you that wants to fight.
Talk
because
about
I
it.
guarantee y'all, ain't nothing out here in these streets. Like, it's nothing out here. So if you know that you guys have love and you know this person, it's just like y'all are in a rough spot right now. Just really, really pray about it and really, really have genuine, authentic conversations and be real about what's happening. If you hiding shit in your phone, if you've done something, or if you having thoughts or feelings about something, like, share it and just have open dialogue about it. That way you're coming back and you're regrouping and you're coming back clean and you're not feeling like, man, I want to work this out, but she still don't know this, or he still don't know this. Because you have to come into a relationship or a marriage with a pure mind and a pure heart in order for the blessings to really, really rain on your marriage or on your relationship.
And I tell, and it just hit me, God. It just hit me. He said the 3 S's. Y'all know I'm good with these, the 3 S's. He said, first of all, tell the people is, be willing to make a sacrifice. All right? You have to make a sacrifice. He said the second thing is, make sure you guys are sexually committed with each other. All right? And then I just heard him say the third S was, serve each other as which you will serve yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's the sacrifice, it's the sex, and it's the servantship. When you understand these 3, your relationship, this will grow so great that you'll look back and say, wow, he told me to make sure that I serve my spouse. All right? Make sure that I'm willing to make a sacrifice. That means with time, commitment, all of that. And then make sure that we are sexually committed with each other. And I promise you, man, your life will go crazy.
And lastly, man, it's not all about you. Okay?
Come on.
That's why we chose this topic, choosing your partner, because it's not all about you. Like, everybody wants to make everything about them. I, me. I. We hear it all the time.
Oh, my God.
And we're just like, man, I wonder if they hear themselves. So if you one of those people and your spouse is telling you, like, you selfish, all you think about is yourself, like, you probably want to get a third party in that thing, which means, like, somebody who's been married for a long time, a couple, or somebody you trust that's like again, they still need to be married. Somebody that can be, a third party to really hear you guys out and really tell you if you're being selfish, because a lot of times we're only thinking about what's going to benefit us, how it's going to hurt us. And again, we don't want to make a sacrifice. We don't want to do none of that. Because it's like, man, what about me? But what about this? And what about I? And what about what I want? And what about I and me? And you're not hearing yourself. So really, really think about, I'm not longer going to think about me. I'm going to think about my spouse,
Come on.
and us. My spouse and us. And I promise you, if both of y'all are thinking that way, everybody wins because your spouse is thinking about you. So they're gonna make sure they're gonna make sure you accomplish what you want to accomplish and you get what you want, and vice versa. So it works out. So I want y'all to start looking at it from that lens, because I want us to make marriage great again and make relationships great again, because they can be great. But you do have to get out of the I, me, and start choosing your spouse. Do you have anything else you want to add, boo?
Man, you can close this thing out, man. Let's go.
If you're in Houston, Texas, make sure you look at all the links down below. Check out our gala that's coming up November 18th and go ahead and purchase your tickets. Also, please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
You're kicking it with the Christians. You're kicking it with the Christians. One marriage, two hustlers, it shows. We'll travel the globe in search of endless possibilities. You're kicking it with the Christians. Together we'll conquer it all. Take the highs with the lows, 'cause there's no losing with this energy. You're kicking it with the Christians.
Don't forget to follow us on all platforms.